Hey everyone, it's Moises Vargas, and this is my research project presentation. The title of my project proposal was Gender Roles in Early Childhood Classrooms and the Influences Made by Teachers. So let's go into a deeper understanding of the topic. So, the importance of study. Much of the research that has been conducted is from more urban and metropolitan areas, and I would like to find out what local Rio Grande Valley teachers think about gender roles in their classrooms. I feel like the RGV is finally beginning to welcome diversity, and as an early childhood teacher, we should have a more open mindset. But I wonder, do we? Gender roles, particularly the roles that begin to develop in early childhood, have a significant role in everyday lives of school-aged children and beyond. Girls and boys are subject to gendered expectations from principals, classroom aides, and the students of both genders suffer consequences as a result of these expectations. Some of the key words that I based my research proposal off of were gender roles, gender schemas, environmental microsystems, and machismo. Gender roles are the expectations of how people should act in terms of what is defined as masculine and feminine. Gender schemas are organized cognitive structures that include gender-related information that influences how children think and behave. Environmental microsystems. The microsystem are activities and interactions in the child's immediate surroundings, such as parents, school, friends, and even the babysitter. Machismo is defined as a strong sense of masculine pride. In Latin American culture, machismo is a social behavioral pattern. We see it a lot with the older generation nowadays. So my literature review, a little bit of background information on the literature that I chose. So when choosing what kind of literature to review, I decided to go with peer-reviewed articles or a scholarly journal. I looked for relevant and current research to base my proposal off of. I categorized my literature review with many keywords in mind. The three pieces of literature that I reviewed were on gender roles, gender schemas, and gender biases. I thought that these were the most fitting with my proposal paper. My proposed research methods. I did the general qualitative inquiry method. A general qualitative inquiry method is proposed to design the data and information needed to develop an experiment or group study. As of right now, I'm still developing what kind of experiment I'd want to perform. So by conducting in-depth interviews with local Rio Grande Valley teachers, I can gain an understanding of what the cultural/societal schemas are of gender. By conducting various case studies of teachers' experiences, teaching philosophies, or even focus groups of teachers debating their points of view, could also benefit the research and data needed to develop the study. It is felt that the data/information from teachers must first be gathered before bringing children into the study, because I feel like a study like this, you would need interviews of children and maybe what they think of certain things in the classroom or certain things that they can play with, but first I'd really want to get a solid foundation from what teachers think. And then the conclusion of my research, I just think that a continuation of research and literature review will be documented in order to really solidify the research methods and study to be chosen after conducting my general qualitative inquiry on Rio Grande Valley teachers. Now I'm going to discuss the three concepts that I learned in this class. The first being different types of hypotheses, then group experimental designs, and then action research. So types of hypotheses. First one, we have non-directional, then we have directional, and then we have null hypothesis. So non-directional hypothesis states that a relation or difference exists among variables. And I provided an example from our homework. And these examples are the same for all of them. So there are gender differences in students' perceptions on inquiry-based instruction. We're saying that there is a difference, but we're not saying, we're not swaying to the right or swaying to the left. Directional hypothesis states the expected direction of the relationship or difference among variables. Example, male students in middle school enjoy inquiry-based instruction more than female students. So we're saying that, males already, we're choosing a direction. Then we have the null hypothesis that states that there is no significant relationship or difference among variables. Null hypotheses are stated when there is little existing research, or theoretical support for a hypothesis. Null hypotheses are also more conservative than directional hypotheses in statistical tests. More studies are Most studies are not based in null hypothesis. An example is the analysis will prove that there is no gender differences in students' perceptions on inquiry-based instruction. Moving on to group experimental designs, there are two major classes of experimental designs. We have single variable and factorial designs. So single variable designs are any design that involves one manipulated variable. And we have pre-experimental designs, true experimental designs, and quasi-experimental designs. So pre-experimental designs do not adequately control the extraneous variables and should be avoided. True experimental designs offer a very high degree of control and are always the preferred designs. And then the quasi-experimental designs do not control as well as experimental designs but are preferable over pre-experimental designs. And then we have factorial designs, are any design that involves two or more independent variables, at least one of them is manipulated. And the last concept was action research. Action research in education is any systematic inquiry conducted by teachers, principals, school counselors, or any stakeholders in the teaching learning environment that involves gathering information about the ways in which their particular schools operate. The teachers teach and the students learn. Information is gathered to gain insight, develop reflective practice, and to effect positive change in the school environment. Also to improve student outcomes and the lives of individuals involved. I really liked this image that I found on Google, what is action research? And it's using an art teacher and the thought process that this art teacher has. So you could go ahead and take a look at that. But first, of course, the art teacher needs to recognize and wonder if there's a problem in the classroom. Then the art teacher thinks about possible reasons that students are having trouble. The art teacher collects and analyzes data. The art teacher comes up with solutions to try. And then finally, the art teacher analyzes the solution. That is all for my presentation. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. And the next slide will be on my references. Goodbye, everyone.